everybody, welcome back to the channel. Chris with MLC. Now today's video is going to be a little bit different. It's going to cover the Evolution cold cut saw, chop saw. Now I've had this thing for, I would say, I'm going to guess 6 months now. And this thing has been an absolute workhorse. It's definitely made my life easier when it comes to cutting material. Now the material we're going to be cutting today is just 1 inch square 14 gauge 083 wall. These are for this tubing is for the pit lifts I build. It used to take me right at 2 hours to cut all the tubing for one of these when I was using my DeWalt abrasive saw. Since I've switched to this guy, it's cut down to like a half hour or less to cut all the tubing to build one of these lifts. So I'm gonna get all the tubing cut, and it cuts the stuff effortlessly. And the fact that it doesn't leave an edge that you really have to clean up is another plus. So I gotta cut all the tubing. Some of the tubing needs notched. Then we'll go over to the jig, which I have a jig for building these things. This one builds the link arms, and then this jig builds the lift itself. So I'm gonna put you on time lapse and we'll get all this tubing cut. All right, see you in a little bit. I have found the best hole saws to use, at least in my opinion, with this Harbor Freight tubing notcher. Has notched probably 23 of the 26 pit lifts I've built. And I use nothing but these Milwaukee hole dozer hole saws. That's about 50 notches, and sometimes it lasts longer. It all depends. I'm gonna go ahead and notch the other 6 of these. I'll come back when I'm done. Yeah, now we gotta do a little grinding and clean up our tubes. Getting ready for welding. right now, but I got the heater going. It's starting to get a little cold in here. So I'm gonna start putting together some link arms for the lift. And the welder I have here I'm using, it's a Hobart 210 MVP with a 75-25 gas. Now, that welder has been an absolute workhorse. For stuff like this, it's overkill, more than enough. I've welded half-inch plate with a single pass with it, and that thing does great. And I have yet to ever trip thermal protection on it. I have the spool gun for it as well. And I welded up a boat, made a bunch of decking and seating area, and never once shut it off, even welding the aluminum. It's always set up on, most generally always run it on 220. I have ran it on 110 a couple times, but that's just as simple with this welder. It's just changing the end of the plug from 110 to 220. You don't have to do anything else to the machine. Just swap ends on the plug and away you go. So while we're set up here, I gotta get some clamps, and I'll put it on time lapse, and we'll start welding up these link arms. All right. Now some of these parts here, the cylinder mounts, positioning handle, have these all laser cut. We have a laser at my work, but that thing's pretty busy all the time. So I started using a company out of Reno, Nevada called Send Cut Send, and they're awesome. I can draw the part, upload the DXF, select my material, and place the order, and usually within 3 to 4 days the stuff is sitting on my porch. So that's pretty awesome. So I use them on most everything I can. These little parts here. Now these here, I ran out of them, so I had to have some of these cut at work on our laser. For the most part, Send Cut Send. If you have any need for any small parts, laser cutting, and they just do all sorts of stuff. And I've seen I believe they're opening up another facility, I want to say in Kentucky, to better serve everybody. But so far, they've been great for me, and for what work I do and the volume I do it in, it's a perfect solution for me. I started building these back, I want to say April. I built 26 of them, I believe. And each one, I mean the first, I think 2 or 4 were shorter, and then I ended up with this 20-inch tall. And that seems to do the trick with a lot of the cars. At full lift, I still have, I believe, 8 inches under the left rear at full droop, and then there's like 17 inches under the right side front and rear tires, and I want to say 17 inches under the left front tire. And when it's fully collapsed, I can maintain a 2 3/4 inch tall height, and I think it's closer to 2 5/8 collapsed. You can drive over it forward, you can back over it. Nothing with the cylinder interferes with the car. You're pulling over and back. The positioning handle is 24 inches long, so there's plenty of that to get to. I've made my framework's a little wider to accommodate some of the different cars. I do have some clamps that I'm working on for the right front corner for raised rail cars, for the right side for raised rail cars. It's been a work in progress. Each one, I mean, I finally settled on this, I think, because I was still offering the option for the 20-inch tall or 17-inch tall, and the jig will do both. I think I finally just settled on this because it's the best option. It's really, really stable. It comes up from full collapse to full up. It's right at 8 seconds. Down the same way. It's a power up, power down. But yeah, each one's been refined, and I finally got to this one. I'm working on a bolt together one, so it's easier to ship. But I can still ship these pretty much anywhere in the country, and the shipping comes in usually around $225 to $240 as long as you're shipping it to a business address. But I'm gonna go ahead and put you back on time lapse, and we're gonna finish putting this thing together. I'll get back with you when it's time to get it off the table. more comes out of the jig, I gotta lift it up, and there's some more welds to do on it. So when it finally comes off like the jig table, it is about 80% welded. Well, there she is. Just needs the safety stops bolted on it. And get this thing up to powder coat tomorrow. And that's basically what it takes to build one of these things. I'm going to do a video for the hydraulic power pack. I'll just do like a video instruction for the operating a power pack. I build them here myself too. American made pump. Runs off of a 340 cold cranking amp lawnmower battery. You can fit like, I think it's a size 26R battery into the power pack box. And it's got a built-in trickle charger. It's got like an RV style plug on the outside where you can just plug an extension cord right into it from your generator to charge it. We'll handle that in the next video. But yeah, that's my pit lift. I think here soon I'm gonna put them back up, start advertising them again. I've had them down because I've been wanting to get this late model done. There's some other stuff I want to get wrapped up, and I was just, when I advertise these things, and I just find myself out here just thrashing to build these things. If you haven't yet, please like, subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell icon so you know when I upload new content. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you in the next video.